Okay, so for step 6, to make our button, what we can do is we can go to our polygon mode and we can select our circle in the middle, and I would say this is the more complex way of doing it, and there's not really any benefit to doing it this way, unless you just wanted your model to be all one mesh. But what you can do is you can select that and we can inset. So this is what you'll see in your Word document guide, and we're instructed to inset it by 5 centimeters. So let's do that by 5 centimeters, and that brings it all the way there. For this tutorial, I think I'm going to make it a bit smaller than 5 centimeters. Maybe we'll go for something closer to 4, and then just press OK. And then what we want to do is we want to extrude that out by 1.5 centimeters. So this is what will be on your step 7. So we don't want to negatively extrude that. We want to put it at 1.5. Press OK. And then we want to do that again for that central smaller button. So select that there, inset it. Now you don't want to do it by the same amount because it will make it very small. Probably go for something like, maybe not 2 centimeters, we'll go for 3 centimeters. Press OK. And then we will extrude that by 1.5 centimeters again. So we can just click extrude this time, because the last time we used extrude settings we set it to 1.5 centimeters. So instead of going back into the settings, we can just do the same thing again. There we go. So click the box still and press OK, and that will save the settings and extrude your button. So it doesn't look like a Pokeball just yet because it's all green, but so far we've got the right structure for our Pokeball. So that's the first way that you can get these central buttons. The other way, which is entirely reasonable, and you can do it this way if you'd like, or if you're struggling, is you can just add in 2 new cylinders. So we could add in another shape, get it into position so we can see what it might look like. So we're going to set this to 90 degrees down here, and then we're going to just move that into position with our Pokeball. This will definitely get you a much more rounded result. We can push that there, pretty much like that. So maybe we set the radius to 8 to have something, a clear number to put in, and then we've got the height. We'll probably set that to 1.5, which is the same as the extrude. And then maybe if you wanted, you could increase the size to get a smoother finish. And then we're just going to make a copy of this. So we're going to hold down shift, click and drag on the y-axis arrow to make a copy. And then with that cylinder, we'll set the radius to about 4. Maybe that's too small, so we'll go for something like 6 centimeters. And that's too big. Let's go for 5 centimeters. Same height, and you can put that in there. And that could be if you wanted that. For now, I'm going to stick with the inset buttons that we made. So if you ever feel like, you know, you're not happy with the shape of your model, don't be afraid to kind of backtrack and go and sort things out. Like, I feel like this top part of the circle is fine, but as soon as we get here, it gets a bit like a diagonal line. So I'm just going to go in and sort that out slightly by selecting this, these two vertices. I'm going to put on my edge constraints, and let's select the inner ones as well. I'm just going to pull them down ever so slightly. Maybe for this we'll leave the constraints on none. Yeah, there we go. Just to try and get a bit more of a circle. I'll do the same for these as well. From my front view, and just pull that down ever so slightly. There we go. And I'm just going to do the same with these. It's best to just double check this before you inset, because your inset, this how circle it is, will be based off of the circle it's inset from. So it's definitely something to check out before. Select that there. Okay, that'll do for now. So last step, which is step 8, we just want to add a bit of a chamfer to this, because when we look at our Pokeball visual reference that you should have when you start this task, the edges aren't this sharp around your Pokeball. They're actually quite smooth, and we can do that with a chamfer. So we're going to get our edge selection, and we are going to double click all of the upper sharp edges. So this edge around here, make sure you select that, and we can do the same along the bottom, and just make sure it's selected all the way around. Yep. And then we also probably want to chamfer our buttons as well, so select these edges, all the way around. Now the reason it's not selecting it all when we double click is because this face is actually more than a four-sided shape, and it won't select across a four-sided shape. So you may have to do that manually, or you can add some cuts in there to make it squares and triangles. So chamfer's here, we click on the settings, and if we look at our guide, we're doing a uniform chamfer, so leave that as uniform. Then we want to change the amount to 1 centimeter, and we want to have 5 segments, and we want to leave everything else the same. So we're going to press OK, and that has chamfered our Pokeball and made it look a lot better. So we've got rid of that sharp edge. So now you've modelled a very simple Pokeball. What you're going to do next is you're going to unwrap and texture this Pokeball. But before you get there, make sure to check, does your Pokeball match your visual reference? If it doesn't, think about what things you could change. Is the button not circle enough? Should there be something at the back maybe that you can add in? Is the band around the center too wide? Make note of these things that you could change and see if you can change them before you go on to texturing. Make sure to get some good screenshots of this and even renders of this, which I will show you how to do in class. See you in the next tutorial. So just a little bonus for you, just to get a quick and easy render of your model to go into your PowerPoints. What you can do, instead of setting up a render setup and everything, which we will show you how to do, you can just go up to the top of your viewport here, click standard and change that to high quality, or you can press the shortcut which is Shift F3, and that will give you a very quick high quality render of your model. And then you can go and click on Tools, Preview, grab Viewport and Capture Still Image. Click Grab, and then this should pop up on your screen somewhere, and you can save that and put that into your PowerPoint for now. Obviously, because your Pokeball is not finished quite yet, we need to texture it. So that's how you can get a very quick render